She smiled like a woman who'd already won. I watched her cross her legs, fingers clasped around her designer bag, nails still wet from the salon she'd visited that morning. She'd made sure to sit where the sunlight hit her face, like it was her moment. My stepmother always knew how to perform. When the lawyer cleared his throat, her eyes flicked toward me, a silent taunt. She thought she'd buried me before the will was even read. I didn't blink. My father married her 3 years after my mother's funeral. I was 20, already old enough to see through the charm she poured like honey. The first time I met her, she called me sweetheart and hugged me too long. Her perfume was expensive and suffocating. My father, blinded by loneliness, mistook control for love. For a while, I played along. Dinners, fake smiles, polite small talk. She'd touch his arm and look at me like she'd already claimed her prize. I learned early that silence unnerves people more than confrontation, so I let her think she'd won him. She moved fast. New house, new accounts, a new will, drafted quietly behind closed doors. My father, bless him, thought he was keeping peace. She told me once, with that syrupy laugh, "You'll understand one day. Men like your father need to be guided." Guided. Right. The betrayal came wrapped in grief. My father's heart gave out 2 days after my 28th birthday. At the funeral, she wore black silk and crocodile tears. She never looked at the casket, only at the guests, making sure they saw her as the grieving widow. I let her have that performance too. A week later, she told me, almost gleefully, that my father had left everything to her. I remember her tone, not cruel, just dismissive, like she was brushing away a fly. "You were always independent," she said. "You'll do fine without it." I nodded, said nothing, and walked out of that house. But in that silence, something cold and sharp began to form. People think revenge is about rage. It's not. It's about patience, precision, timing. While she redecorated the mansion, my father's mansion, I started working. I went through his old files, traced his business holdings, his trusts, his offshore accounts. My father wasn't careless. He'd built layers, protections, contingencies. All I needed was the right thread. It came 6 months later in an email from his longtime attorney, Mr. Harlow. He'd always liked me. "Your father made some unusual arrangements," he said. "Perhaps we should talk." I remember the smile that spread across my face when he told me. My father had known exactly what she was. The plan took time. I didn't rush. I let her believe I was beaten. I even sent her flowers on her birthday, to the woman who made Dad so happy. She posted it on social media. The caption read, "Family, not blood, defines love." Perfect. Let the world think we were close. Behind the scenes, I worked with Harlow. There was a clause buried deep in the estate documents, an ethical inheritance clause. My father's idea of poetic justice. If any heir was found to have manipulated, coerced, or otherwise influenced his financial decisions, proven or strongly evidenced, the inheritance would default to a secondary beneficiary, me. All I needed was evidence, and I had it. Every message she sent to his broker, every transaction she made through his assistant, the prenup addendum she forged with his digital signature, something she'd forgotten to cover her tracks on. I didn't need to scream or accuse. I just handed it all to Harlow. So here we are. The lawyer's office smells like old paper and lemon polish. My heart is steady. She's practically glowing, leaning forward, waiting for confirmation of her victory. Harlow starts reading, paragraph after paragraph. Her name appears again and again. I can almost hear her inhale with pride. Then he pauses, adjusts his glasses. "One final note," he says. Per Section 9C of the Estate Clause, in the event of undue influence, The estate shall revert to the secondary beneficiary, as identified in the sealed document attached. He breaks the seal, looks up, and smiles. Her face drains of color before he even says my name. She doesn't speak at first, just stares at him, then at me. I give her a small, polite smile, the same one she used to give me when she thought I didn't matter. Harlow continues, voice steady. All assets, properties, and trusts totaling $154 million are hereby transferred to Mr. Daniel Hayes. Silence, the kind that swallows sound. Her fingers tremble. This is ridiculous," she stammers. He wouldn't." But she knows he would. My father wasn't stupid. He just loved her too much to confront her while he was alive. So he let me do it for him, post-hastily. I stand, adjust my jacket, look her in the eyes. "You were right," I say quietly. "Men like my father do need